Hey everyone. so, uh, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to beat Colorful Hell, and I felt like making this video in English because that's a unique level. So, before you say anything, if you die, you can see such phrase, all rights reserved. So I copied a few platforms and their decoration from other levels that are present here. So if you go to the level editor, you can see that there are invisible text blocks next to the platforms showing the person who made them. Right, so the first 7% is probably the most reasonable part of the level, because I made this part around 4 years ago. And I actually put a lot of effort into this part. So there we have to click that or play. Then you gotta click the pink orb and fall down and jump over the spikes. Then you have to hold, and there's an invisible platform here, so you can hold. So everything after the ship part was made. Alright, so the first 6% is all I made 4 years ago. The rest was made just a year ago. Nothing to explain here except for this thing. So oh, come on. Alright, so you can't click too fast, but you can click too slow though. So this part is a bit harder than it looks. So the gameplay here is pretty straightforward, except for that spam. It's one of the hardest parts of the level because it's so awfully built, and there are invisible spikes and invisible blocks that kill you every time. But after that, there's the first block maze. Don't know how to call it. So you gotta jump twice, then fall down and jump all the way to here. And this bug happens sometimes, and I never bothered to fix it. So at first this ship looks pretty easy, then it seems very hard because there's a one block gap over there. But then later you realize that it's actually easy because you can get consistent. So you just fly through this gap and there's another part until the wave. So after the wave there's the gameplay from Polygon the Nazi level that is almost the same. This transition is pretty tricky because you need to get into, you have to fly pretty high so you can jump over the subblade that is over there. There's an invisible subblade, so you need to hold it like that and go up. Go up, and there's a pretty cancerous wave part. You can't touch the second blue jump pad because the transition will kill you. So the breakable blocks right here make this part harder because this might happen. You might land on one of these blocks, or you can fly right over them and you will die. Also, you can skip the jump pads and the yellow orb. Alright, so that's the UFO, and one of my favorite parts of the level in terms of decoration. And it's also pretty self-explanatory. This ball part might be pretty hard at first, but as soon as you understand what you're doing, it gets pretty easy. You just need to follow the rhythm. And the blue orb spam at the robot. So you can just spam and survive, or you can do controlled spam. But you need to practice the spam because otherwise you will be dying a lot. like that, and there's the second drop. Alright, so there was a bug at 65% that I fixed, and it makes the transition pretty cancerous, depending on what gravity the robot will have. So the only hard thing in this UFO part is the blue orb, because you can click it early, or sometimes you just don't reach it, like that. Then there's the spider part, and you can see the particles, and that's a bunch of blue orbs that you need to hit. So you click twice faster, and then click twice a tiny bit slower, and that's the wave that got massively nerfed. So it's pretty much just controlled spam that you need to get used to. Once you just understand how to spam, this part gets not that bad. Right, so for this part, okay, for this part, you can break this block and survive. Like that, and you can also break this one and survive, and that's the original way. Or you can just you can break this block and you will die immediately. So this sort of straight flying is kind of unpleasant because of the invisible blocks over here. When you're nervous, you just don't know when exactly you need to click. Alright, so this timing is pretty cancerous because you can actually hold it there. I remember I was dying when I was working way too early. So you can't hold when you reach the cube portal because such thing will happen. And you can't click the orb too late. Alright, so from this part, there is some cancerous dual gameplay that you need to practice a lot, and I think it's hard to memorize for other people that haven't actually made gameplay in a level. So first you need to click twice pretty fast, and then the cube should fall down twice, and while it's falling down the first time, you need to click very lightly because the UFO needs to jump. Like that, and then jump, then jump late, and there's an invisible platform over here, and you need to jump with the UFO right before the cube reaches this platform, like that. And there's the ship part that is once again pretty unpleasant because I'm sorry. Right. Gotta fix that. Okay. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is that the spikes, this spike is bigger than this one, so this gap is much more narrow than it looks. So this is probably the most complicated part because it's a combination of dual gameplay and a block maze. So for this part, I recommend going into the editor and testing which blocks can be rotated. So you can know which blocks don't kill you. But I'm also going to explain what you need to do here. So you hold it, so the waves should fall into the portals, and then you should hold 1, 3. So hold it 1, 3 and spam. And then there's the most cancer transition in the level because of this part where I just died, but fortunately there's a way to do this part consistently. So now I didn't die, but the chance of dying is much higher than the chance of staying alive. So you need to think that this is not a jump pad but a spike. So you need to click there and then click the blue orb, and that works every time. You don't die to the spikes, and this duel gets very easy. So just look at the lower cube and jump twice. Literally no timings. And then one easy ball timing and a straight flying. It's actually not very easy, especially when you're nervous. And there's the hell part. And fun fact is that this gameplay was made by my brother that doesn't play this game. So just slide and then jump once, and the yellow orb is fake. You don't have to click it because you won't survive. So if you hold die like that, and I did die like that once while verifying because I get nervous. So to prevent this happening, just jump once and then hold again. So this wave is very easy, but the alpha triggers make it a little harder. 3 orbs and the last ship. How are you alive? The last ship is pretty hard. And it must be unsurprising for you if you die there. So we can slide here. Nothing kills you there. However, there's the green orb that is actually very tricky, as you can see. And once again, tricky blue orbs. So you gotta click just one of them. Because as you can see, if you have negative gravity, you will die. So you change your gravity to positive and fly over this gap and click once to make it more consistent. And the last jump is actually very hard because it's not perfectly synchronized, and every time I click very loudly I die. So I actually did. So if you click very hard, you will most likely die. And I don't understand such algorithm. If you click not that loudly, you will most likely jump over the spikes and beat the level. So it's done. I'm sorry for what happened there with practice mode. So That's the entire level. I'm still waiting for people that will beat this level, and I would actually appreciate that if somebody actually beats the level. So good luck to such people, and see you in the next video.